Plandai Biotechnology, sometimes pronounced Plancha, it's Gaelic for plant, is a biotech firm that develops highly bioavailable plant extracts for a number of industries, from health and wellness to the multi-billion-dollar nutraceutical and pharmaceutical industries. And they do it all right here, 10,000 miles away from the U.S. headquarters in Logan, Utah. This is the Cintico Tea Estate. Nestled deep in the Mpumalanga province of South Africa, Cintico sits in the bowl of a dormant volcano. The property covers about 8,000 acres and is surrounded by beautiful mountains, is home to amazing views as far as the eye can see, and there's even a calming waterfall that rushes through the property, bringing water down from the mountainous region above. But Cintico hasn't always been so well maintained. Plandai's Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Callum Cottrell-Duffield, recalls a time when Cintico needed plenty of TLC.
When we took over the tea estate, it had been left derelict for 7 years. So the tea bushes you can see behind me are half a foot off the ground, and that's how they should be when you harvest tea. When we took over the tea estate, the tea was in some places 20 foot high, with stumps that were probably 3 or 4 inches in diameter. So we had to spend a huge amount of time and manpower going in and harvesting and bringing the tea estate back to the standard that is required for our raw ingredient.
Roger Duffield, who is the CEO of the company, remembers those early days well.
Almost 4 years ago, with a team of 5 people, we walked on to an abandoned tea estate. 150 kilometers of roads had been basically abandoned, and we started from nothing.
It was a job that most would not have ever taken on. You see, Cintico is not easy to get to. The tea estate is reached only after traveling up and over almost 40 miles of winding, narrow dirt logging roads that are not well maintained at all. The tea estate itself has about 95 miles of dirt roads that also needed plenty of work. And then there was getting the many tons of proprietary equipment to the company's 30,000 square foot production facility, which would be used in Plandai's unique processing and extraction of live plant material.
That's probably about a 400 kilometer trip on tar roads, and then about another 60 kilometers on logging roads through the middle of probably some of the roughest roads I've ever driven on. And we trucked in 50 odd containers worth of equipment to put the factory up and to build it to the state that it's in today. So that was a monumental task that again had never been undertaken before by anybody.
Today, Cintico is absolutely stunning. On the property, you'll find one well-manicured and rich green tea field after another. There is almost nowhere you can visit on the tea estate and not find a field with row after row of hundreds of tea bushes that are pampered by a staff of locals from neighboring cities that Plandai has put back to work with the revitalization of Cintico.
Over the last 4 years, we have put together an amazing factory, the first in the world for processing live plant. We've brought together over 200 people. We've had to train from nothing because there was nobody here. And we are basically now the only tea estate in South Africa that is functioning.
So the farm is definitely at the level we want it to be from a production perspective. We have the land to produce all the raw material we need and for the required amount. And from the factory perspective, the factory's online and it's producing product. So I'd say we're at the end of chapter 1.
So what is it that Plandai does at Cintico? Well, the tea plants that dominate the property are only the beginning of the company's story. It's a story highlighted by turning the leaves from these plants into highly bioavailable green tea extract. It begins early each morning when local workers who live in accommodations right on the Cintico tea estate provided for them by Plandai don baskets that will hold their haul for the day. Row by row, these workers comb the fields of tea bushes to find the best leaves for harvesting. After filling their baskets, they transition the live leaves to these holding racks where they are then rushed to the company's production facility. It's important to immediately get the live plant material into these cooling bays outside the factory. This conveyor belt carries the leaves into much cooler temperatures, allowing the leaves to stay alive and to protect their valuable phytonutrients before they are eventually ground into a batch of rich material. Because Plandai uses live plant material rather than dried leaf like most extract producers, the antioxidants are still quite active throughout the company's extraction process. It is here on this line outside the facility where the magic begins. This is stage 1 of Plandai's unique 4-stage process.
What we're able to do is to actually take that plant, we shear it down to primarily nanoparticles. We grow microscopic bubbles which encapsulate the particle that we have sheared, and we open that particle and release the phytonutrients. And then in this amazing piece of technology, there is an energy force that actually realigns the molecules.
In order to pull off this amazing process and realize the value of the company's technology, the leaves that were harvested just moments ago journey through conveyor belts, through pipes, into a series of large vats from one room in the company's impressive production facility after another, until the batch becomes a highly bioavailable extract, rich in color and ready for packaging.
Our product comes out and it's emerald green. You know, when you think of buying a green tea product, you naturally want to see something that is green, as compared to a dusty brown. And ours comes out and it is this bright emerald green color.
Even with a bright emerald green extract, what actually separates Plandai from all the other generic extracts out there is the magic that happens in this production facility. The company isn't just making a beautifully colored extract, it's making a highly bioavailable extract. And what that means is Plandai's Phytofare catechin complex is getting into the bloodstream and it's staying there. Roger Duffield has always known he could produce a potent extract.
We already knew it, we just had to prove it, because nobody would believe us. I mean, it's very easy to say we're more bioavailable than anybody else. I know we're more bioavailable. I've known for years of all the studies I've done, but I never had a clinical study to back it until now.
That's right, now the company can boast of producing a higher bioavailable product, and now it has the data to prove it. Plandai Biotechnology commissioned a human clinical trial at Northwest University in South Africa, where Professor Anne Grobler and her team of scientists proved the company's claims. Northwest University's Lindsay Duplessis explains what bioavailability is and why it matters to end users of the company's green tea product.
That's the actual drug getting into your blood system that can, so that it can go to the target areas it's supposed to work at. Well, if it doesn't enter your blood, it can't do anything. So it won't help you take any tablets or any type of drug, and it can't reach your blood system. So the more reaches the blood system, the better for the product.
Dr. Nicola Bernard is also a part of Professor Grobler's team at Northwest University that conducted the human clinical trial with 26 participants. In that trial, Plandai's green tea extract was compared with a commercially available generic extract, and Dr. Bernard attributes the stunning results that favored Plandai's extract over the commercial product to the company's extraction process.
Natural products, we all know, we've heard of the amazing things they can do. The trouble is, to consume enough to have the effect that you need is often very difficult. Sometimes we're talking about you have to eat something like a couple of grams of tea or drink 20 cups of tea, for example, per day. This is very difficult. So this is where an extraction might help. Most extraction methods, by the way they operate, actually kill half of the molecules that you want. This is where I think Phytofare is unique. Actually increasing the amount of active molecules, not deadening them and making them more available in higher concentrations.
Professor Grobler, who has a PhD in pharmaceutics, is the director of Northwest University's preclinical drug development platform. And needless to say, her initial reaction to the data produced from the clinical trial had to please Plandai.
I have to do it again. Yeah, they were that dramatic, yeah.
The results were indeed dramatic. In the study, all 8 of the catechins found in green tea were found in the bloodstream of the study's participants after using Plandai's green tea extract, compared to only 1 and sometimes 2 catechins found when those participants used the commercially available extract that the company's product was compared to. Catechins are antioxidant compounds found in green tea. According to years of research, the catechins, all working in concert with one another, are responsible for the many health benefits that have been widely reported from consuming green tea. Professor Grobler says that with Plandai's green tea extract, we're able to finally have detectable blood levels of catechin molecules that were not previously seen in the blood. And finding all 8 of the plant's catechins in the bloodstream is highly significant.
So the quantity of the catechins which was now present were really much higher, between 8 times to 20, in some cases as high as 62 times higher with the plunger product than with the commercial preparation. Which really means that there are functions that the catechins, which were not previously in the bloodstream, can now perform. I mean, it may be a completely new function that can be supplied by the plunger product, because previously those molecules were just not absorbed.
But Plandai's technology doesn't just produce a green tea extract that's getting all 8 of the catechins into the bloodstream. They are also keeping those 8 catechins in the bloodstream for much longer. And this may be the most significant data produced in the study.
After 24 hours, the level of catechins in the case of the plunger product is still higher than the Cmax, or the maximum concentration obtained after of the green tea commercial product.
If you're going to take antioxidants in your body, you want them to support your body's natural antioxidants, and you want them there for 24 hours. What we're finding from those studies from Professor Grobler is that we not only were there for 24 hours, we actually had 60% of the original extract was there at the end of 24 hours, which was more than the generic when it started.
The duration of circulation of those catechins in the blood were increased dramatically in the case of the plunger product. And that is also important because now you're maintaining a therapeutic level of those molecules in the blood. Whereas previously you had spikes and downs with the comparator products. So that's quite important because now you're really maintaining a level of efficacy or of presence that was previously not possible.
Plandai is not stopping there, however. Along with Northwest University, the company is using a drug delivery system called Pheroid to entrap the company's highly bioavailable extract and then deliver it much deeper into the body on the cellular level.
Pheroid is a drug delivery system or a drug delivery technology where you package your compounds that you want to be absorbed in the body into little tiny vesicles or little microsponges.
Professor Rose Hayeshi is a biochemist on Professor Grobler's team at Northwest University, and she specializes in nanoscience and offers this simple way to understand Pheroid.
So it's like a small backpack in which you put your drug molecules, and then this backpack is used to deliver drug molecules to the site of action. You can control, for instance, the amount of drug you put into the carrier. You can control where the carrier is released. So if you want to target, for instance, a diseased cell or a cell which is cancerous and is signaling on the surface that I am sick, then you can target your carrier to that diseased cell and then release your drug molecule right to that diseased cell.
Once something is highly bioavailable, like Plandai's green tea extract, it's also important to deliver that product where it can ideally be of the most benefit to an end user. And Pheroid should allow Plandai to explore the real benefits of its products. We all have natural defense mechanisms against foreign bodies that enter into our digestive system, so what we ingest gets metabolized pretty quickly. This, of course, leaves what we are consuming no longer in its original form. And this is where Pheroid will help the company to deliver its highly bioavailable products into the cells, where it will then be taken in as food versus metabolized by the acids in the stomach. Dr. Bernard says that at Northwest University, they've taken the company's Phytofare extract and mixed it with certain components, provided just the right temperature at just the right pressure to form a perfect little bubble that will contain the active green tea extract, which can then be transported throughout the body.
There have been numerous clinical trials which show that the pheroid is able to increase efficacy of a range of different active pharmaceutical and nutraceutical drugs. We are often able to lower dosages and take them less frequently, and also change the way that a drug might be administered. For example, something that might need to be injected previously could now be applied topically or taken in oral dosage form, which is obviously much more desirable for the patient.
And the addition of pheroid gives us the ability to not only provide a product that is even more efficacious than what our Phytofare castor complex is, but it also gives us the ability to provide a product in a liquid format and numerous other tablet and gel tab applications, such as effervescent tablets or pressed tablets.
Chapter 1 of the Plandai story was, as Callum said, getting Cintico rehabilitated and alive again, and then getting the company to the point where it can produce the raw material and then produce a product. In South Africa, there is a dormant season for growing and harvesting tea of about 4 months. So now that the tea estate is alive and well again, the company can plan its future accordingly.
We're looking to be producing 8 tons of extract a month, which will enable us to not only sell a required amount over the coming months, but also stockpile for the following dormant period, so as to ensure we have a consistent supply of product throughout that time period.
By all accounts, Chapter 1 is a success, and now Plandai is taking on Chapter 2 with the same intensity and passion.
Chapter 2 is all about selling the product into the market and building that market share and getting our name out there and becoming known as what I would like to be known as the #1 player in plant extracts in the world.
Plandai is currently focusing on the North American and European markets with an eye on pushing into the Brazilian and Asian markets as well. It will be here that they will be selling the Phytofare green tea product as a wholesale ingredient into the existing green tea market.
Green tea is used in a plethora of products currently found in the market, from toothpastes to shampoos to weight loss products, and that's what they're most commonly known for. And our aim as a marketing and sales division is to go after the existing buyers of green tea extract, and with our added clinical benefits as well as a highly competitive price, our aim is to take that market share, and then once we have that and consolidate that market share, is to build upon that and potentially in the future come to market with our own branded product at some stage.
Green tea is just the start for Plandai. The company expects to use its technology on a number of other plans to produce additional highly bioavailable products.
Green tea is our first product off the line. We're also heavily looking into producing a citrus complex from live lemons. That has or citrus bioflavonoid complex from live lemons. Now that has huge potential applications in the sports industry, from reductions in strains and sprains, returning from injury once you are already injured, reduction in onset of muscle soreness. So in effect, people are able to train harder, faster and longer. That's on the sports side. Citrus bioflavonoids also have been proven clinically over in previous studies to show the ability to reduce the onset of cold and flus. So there's huge benefit in that. We're also looking at epimedium, which has been shown to have a potential positive effect for erectile dysfunction. Definitely, we're looking at producing artemisia, which is used as an antimalarial, and we're in talks with companies in Sub-Sahara and India for production for them, for their actual antimalarial drugs. And one of the other massive things we're looking at is in Uruguay. We are about to start doing some clinical research into the cannabis plant and the myriad of clinical benefits that cannabis can provide.
Plandai has made quality control and the ability to trace every single batch of its product a priority. Their products are packaged in foil-lined bags, so when the packages are stored, the sunlight, or any light for that matter, is never an issue. They are also nitrogen flushed and then vacuum sealed, so with the company's products, oxygen being present is never a concern. This attention to detail will increase Plandai's ability to keep Phytofare on the shelf for a long time.
The nutraceutical industry has a reputation of not being able to provide the traceability and quality control that, say, the pharmaceutical industry provides in today's age. We as a company have made the decision and taken the route to go to err on the pharmaceutical side of the requirements as opposed to the nutraceutical side. So what that means to the customer is that they're able to get batch traceability and complete assurance of quality control with regards to our product, so that they know that if there happens to be a fault within the product, we can trace it all the way back to actually the block of tea that it was picked from and who picked the tea. We can go as far back as that. That will give our customers a huge amount of comfort.
Callum, in his role as Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Plandai, has received a strong response when he talks to buyers about the company's green tea extract. And now, from a buying perspective, it's just a matter of getting Plandai's product into their buy cycles.
We've been talking to potential customers both in Europe, North America, and here in South Africa, and the reaction's been absolutely fantastic. This is not a product that has ever been seen on the market before, so you're naturally going to have a few skeptics to start with, but the people that we've spoken to and shown the clinical data to, they're absolutely blown away by it.
And getting buyers on board should be the easy part after years of hard work and now armed with extremely favorable data.
So there are huge clinical benefits to our product that far outweigh anything that a generic extract can really bring to market. And when you add that information with our competitive price, there's not really anything anybody in the market can compete with us against. And now it's just about building the brand name and getting our name out there and becoming known as the company that can deliver the products that are actually beneficial to humans.